ABC7 Eyewitness News at 6:30 starts now.
Protesters marching today against a possible natural gas rate hike.
5 years after the riot at the Capitol, we look at where divisions still stand.
But first, unsafe school. Students at one suburban school need a new place to learn.
Edison Primary School in Kankakee has been forced to close immediately because the building has been deemed dangerous.
There will be a special meeting tomorrow night, but for now, parents tell ABC7's Michelle Gallardo they were taken off guard by the immediate closure.
To be clear, this was a school that was going to shut down regardless at the end of the academic year. And while the decision to abruptly close it has taken parents off guard, district officials tell us they simply had no choice. It's the first day back in school for Kankakee School District 111 students following the winter break. But not all of them are in the classroom. Edison Primary School was abruptly shut down after officials received some very unwelcome news from their latest engineering report just last week.
The wall itself has separated from the foundation by about 1.5 inches. So much more movement, and we have a roof collapse. So we couldn't take a chance on that happening. Cracks have been showing up in the nearly 70-year-old building for some time now. But until recently, it was thought these did not pose an imminent danger. The school, which is also underused, had been slated to close at the end of the year. Now its 185 students are in remote learning this week until everyone can be relocated.
I want the same friends and the same teacher too.
The good news for this third grader is that will happen. All of Edison's third grade classes will, out of next Monday, move to Kennedy, while most other students will go to Steuben. Officials saying the schools have empty classrooms that can be easily repurposed.
We move the teachers with their students. So the belonging and the sense of inclusivity that they had with those teachers will still stay in place. We just moved them to a different building. Parents today were sent home with packets containing their children's assignments for the week. That is to give teachers time to set up their new classrooms. But while the logistics have been worked out, the prospect is a scary one for some children who must now get used to entirely new surroundings.
My youngest daughter, she's 9, but I've had 3 children who come through this school as well. And she's a little scared. She's one of those kids that she's shy.
Parents and students will have the opportunity to tour their new schools at an open house on Thursday. In Kankakee, I'm Michelle Gallardo, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Michelle, thank you. Meanwhile, we're going to take a live look downtown at the Royal Sonesta Chicago Downtown River Camera. Start off your evening here at 6:31. 40 degrees, pretty mild out there, Karen.
Yeah, you know what, not bad. It's also still kind of hazy and cloudy out there, but at least it is a little more mild, Greg.
You can see that from the tops of the building. You can also see this camera, which I call the Cheryl Burton Navy Pier camera until we sell the rights to that. Because the reason is because she loves this shot, because it gives us the golden hour as the sun is setting. And we got a little gold out there, although it is just city lights reflecting off of that low-hanging mist and cloud cover that we were talking about. Temperatures are not bad, especially by January standards. 40 degrees with mostly cloudy skies, although a little bit of wind chill does drive that feels like temperature down a little bit closer to freezing. But we grabbed 45 today. We grabbed 45 yesterday. Both of those a baker's dozen warmer than our average high temperature, which has officially dropped from 33 just a couple of days ago, now down to freezing. We are getting in the depths of winter. I believe our average high temperature bottoms out at about 28 or so, and that happens in a couple of weeks. So to cop a 45-degree day today, pretty good. Upper 30s to lower 40s across the board right now. Our temperatures don't slide very much during the overnight. That has been a common thread. And we start off tomorrow morning at about the mid to upper 30s. Tomorrow afternoon in the mid to upper 40s. We have way more sunshine in the Wednesday forecast than we had today. We don't have any fog to worry about, but then we are tracking rain and perhaps even some snow by the time the Bears are playing on Saturday. We'll track that coming up. Karen?
All right, thank you, Greg. Leaders from around the world are speaking out against President Trump as he boasts about the U.S. operation in Venezuela that led to the ousting of President Nicolas Maduro. They are also saying they're concerned about the administration's international policy. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
Growing concern around the world as President Trump threatens to exert control and American dominance in the Western Hemisphere after the capture of now ousted Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro.
We sort of got him a little by surprise, but it was brilliant tactically.
Trump saying the U.S. will run Venezuela, but it's unclear how that will happen.
This is how we get into endless wars. A one-day plan to get rid of Maduro, but no idea of what happens after.
Vice President Delcy Rodriguez sworn in as the interim president as Maduro and his wife sit behind bars in New York City after pleading not guilty to federal narco-terrorism charges. Meanwhile, Trump boasting of what he's labeled the Monroe Doctrine, after the Monroe Doctrine from the 1800s, when President James Monroe warned against European colonization in the Americas. Trump suggesting next he could target Mexico, Cuba, and Colombia.
La defensa de nuestra soberanía.
Colombia's foreign minister saying its military is prepared to defend the country and its people should an aggression be made by the U.S. Trump says he's also eyeing Greenland, a territory of Denmark.
Den amerikanske præsident alvorlig.
The Danish prime minister saying Trump's threats should be taken seriously, and if the U.S. attacks another NATO country, quote, everything stops. The leaders of Denmark and Greenland now asking the U.S. State Department for a meeting in the near future. And some European countries, including France, Germany, and Italy, are standing by Greenland, saying in a joint statement they will not stop defending the principles of sovereignty. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
All right, Rena, thank you. 5 years ago today, rioters carried out the deadly January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. Today, some January 6th defendants and their supporters peacefully walked that same path to the Capitol. Americans continue to have polarizing views on the events of that day in our nation's history, as ABC7's Rob Hughes reports.
We didn't have a full comprehension of how close to serious danger we were.
Representing Illinois' 10th District, Congressman Brad Schneider was there that day, attempting to certify the election results. He was famously photographed on the floor of the House gallery as rioters attempted to break into the House chamber of the U.S. Capitol.
I was in the second row and just watching what was happening. I vividly remember a gunshot.
Congressman Schneider says it was the shot that killed protester Ashley Babbitt as people were breaking through a door not 100 feet from where he says he and his colleagues were taking cover. Today, the White House's official website mischaracterizing some of the day's events, alleging that Babbitt was, quote, murdered in cold blood.
One of the things that is most distressing to me as someone who was here on January 6th 5 years ago is that too many, including the President of the United States, are trying to, at best, whitewash what happened on January 6th, and at worst, rewrite history.
Former leader of the Proud Boys, Enrique Tarrio, was convicted of seditious conspiracy and one of more than 1,500 people who were pardoned or had their sentences commuted by the Trump administration. Tarrio at the Capitol today after calling for a peaceful march in memory of Babbitt.
A year ago, exactly a year ago, many of us were sitting in a jail cell trying to figure out if we were going to get pardoned or not. We did trust the president.
House Democrats today holding unofficial hearings they say set the record straight. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul among the elected officials testifying.
This is an extraordinary moment in American history.
And while many Democrats continue to push for accountability, Kevin Schultz, Department of History chair at UIC, believes the political environment is too fraught for a true resolution to January 6th.
I think it's going to be left to the historians to tell a truthful and honest retelling of what happened on January 6th. And then it will just become another one of these forlorn chapters of American elites getting away with trampling on democratic institutions.
Rob Hughes, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
It now costs more for some Uber and Lyft rides in certain parts of Chicago. The rideshare congestion fee is going up $1.50 for every ride in congestion zones in the city. The two new zones include parts of the Loop, Andersonville, Pilsen, Hyde Park, and Woodlawn. Some riders are concerned about the rising costs.
It's enough going on right now with prices, with everything going up, and then congestion. It's always going to be congestion. So now you're penalizing people riding extra money. So they make tax for everything. So it's just a lot. It's just too much.
There's also increased fees for riding to both Chicago airports, Navy Pier and McCormick Place.
Protesters pushing back against a possible natural gas rate increase in Chicago. Under the proposed hike, the average People's Gas customer may have to pay between $10 and $11 more each month. ABC7's Evelyn Holmes talked to those concerned about higher bills.
A coalition of consumer advocacy groups and others are cranking up the heat on People's Gas as the utility asks for a rate hike that could increase utility bills $10 or more. Chicagoan Maggie Bowman doesn't know how much more she can take. After paying $500 a month for gas service this winter, the owner of a two-flat in the city's Edgewater neighborhood is against another People's Gas rate hike.
I would say that approaching each winter, my gas bill and how it's going to increase is my biggest financial stressor in my budget.
The Northside homeowner is among those who gathered outside the People's Gas headquarters at the Aon Center to protest the $202 million price hike the gas utility requested from the Illinois Commerce Commission yesterday. The ask comes just 2 years after state regulators granted People's Gas a record high $306 million rate increase in 2023. Watchdog group, the Citizens Utility Board, calls the proposed increase a money grab.
Our message to People's Gas is stop treating your customers like an ATM.
The group says Illinois customers are already paying more for gas after colder than normal temperatures and higher natural gas prices added $15 to $17 to monthly bills. Cub reports that supply prices charged by People's Gas have increased 24.9% from last year, adding that in November 2025, about 150,000 People's Gas customers were more than 30 days behind on their gas bills by a total of $65 million. A spokesperson for People's Gas defends the proposed price hike, explaining that the increase would pay for ongoing state-mandated removal of 1,000 miles of old underground iron pipe from Chicago's heating system.
A nationwide study shows that Chicago's heating bills are significantly lower than other large cities across the country. That will continue to be the case even after this rate request.
According to the Illinois Public Interest Research Group, People's Gas could have reduced repair costs by relining some pipes instead of replacing them. The advocacy groups say the utility's parent company, Milwaukee-based WEC Energy Group, reported $1.2 billion in profits for the first 9 months of 2025.
If this rate hike is approved, customers will face a 1-2 punch of even higher delivery rates and higher gas prices.
In the meantime, state regulators have the final approval of any rate increase. The Illinois Commerce Commission could make a decision by November, meaning those rate hikes would take place in 2027. Reporting from downtown Chicago, Evelyn Holmes, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Evelyn, thank you. And you can find more about local prices using our price tracker. Just scan that QR code on your screen or head to our news app or website.
Local child care facilities concerned tonight after the government freezes funds to Illinois.
An emotional day in court as a former police officer faces charges in the Uvalde school shooting.
And later, President Obama is now hiring. We'll look at the job openings available at his presidential center. There's new information today on the deadly mass shooting at Brown University. 2 students died and 9 others were injured when Claudio Valente opened fire on the Rhode Island campus last month. Authorities say he later shot and killed an MIT professor before taking his own life in a storage unit. During the search of the facility, the FBI says it recovered an electronic device containing a series of short videos made by Valente. In these videos, he reportedly admitted that he had been planning the Brown University shooting for a long time, and he indicated it was based on a years-long grudge, but did not provide a motive for targeting the students or professor.
Opening statements today in the criminal trial for a former Uvalde school police officer who responded to the 2022 deadly mass shooting at Robb Elementary. Adrian Gonzalez, who was one of the first officers on the scene, he's accused of endangering dozens of children by failing to follow his training. As ABC's Melissa Adon reports, defense lawyers say he's being made into a scapegoat.
Sitting stoic in court today before a jury, former Uvalde Schools police officer Adrian Gonzalez on trial for his role in the 2022 Robb Elementary School shooting in Uvalde, Texas. Prosecutor Bill Turner on the verge of tears as he began his opening statement.
We're not asking Adrian Gonzalez to commit suicide. He has been trained to go to the corner of a building and distract, delay, and impede the gunman while help is arriving. Adrian Gonzalez does nothing more than mic his microphone and tell other officers what's going on.
Gonzalez was one of the first of nearly 400 officers to respond to the mass shooting that killed 19 fourth graders and 2 teachers, in which it took law enforcement 77 minutes to act and kill the shooter. Prosecutors for the first time providing their rationale for charging Gonzalez, disclosing a teacher tried to warn Gonzalez she came face to face with the shooter before the gunman entered the school. Prosecutors alleging Gonzalez ignored his training and failed to engage, distract, or delay the shooter. Gonzalez is charged with 29 counts of child endangerment and has pleaded not guilty. His defense telling jurors that convicting Gonzalez will not deliver justice for what happened.
Evil is not rectified with injustice. Pure evil visited that precious community. It did. But it's not rectified with injustice.
Taking the stand first today, Gilbert Limones, who worked at the funeral home across from the school, he made the first call to 911. Sobbing heard coming from the gallery as the 911 calls were played. Gonzalez was charged last year alongside former Uvalde Schools Police Chief Pete Arredondo, who was the on-site commander the day of the shooting. Arredondo's trial has been indefinitely postponed due to a pending civil lawsuit. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
The Trump administration is announcing plans to freeze $10 billion worth of child care funding over allegations of fraud. The 5 states targeted include Illinois. While state officials wait for word on when the freeze takes effect, ABC's Sarah Schulte is looking at the impact such a move could have on kids and parents.
If the Trump administration follows through on freezing billions of dollars worth of federal funds for child-related social programs, Illinois House Speaker Chris Welch says the state will take the Trump administration to court once again.
Support for low-income kids may be in jeopardy if President Trump freezes billions of federal funds to Illinois and 4 other blue states. Any size cut would be devastating for Little Angels Learning Center. 80% of this Inglewood Child Care's funding comes from public resources, including the federal government.
Most of our families that qualify for our services in our community were 200% below the poverty line. So there is no, even when it comes to co-payments, we do not charge parents co-payments, registration fees, deposits fees.
Between Illinois, New York, California, Minnesota, and Colorado, the Trump administration says it will freeze $10 billion in funding for child care subsidies, social services, and cash support for low-income families. Illinois Department of Human Services has not yet received specifics on how the state's programs will be affected. Regardless, House Speaker Chris Welch says the state will fight back.
He's a bully, but we're not going to back down. We're not going to be intimidated. We have one of the best attorney generals in the country, and we're going to continue to fight him in the courts.
Trump is taking action following accusations of widespread welfare fraud in Minnesota, something Welch says is not happening in Illinois.
I am not aware of any fraud. That would be news to all of us.
Well, he is not accusing the state of fraud. Republican gubernatorial candidate Ted Dabrowski says there's potential of it because he says human services spending under Governor Pritzker has ballooned.
I would love to see I'd like to see a forensic audit from the governor. From the Illinois government.
In a written response to Dabrowski calling for a state audit, a spokesperson for Governor Pritzker's campaign accuses the Republican of not wanting the state to help and care for people with disabilities. Sarah Schulte, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Sarah, thank you. History at the Vatican as Pope Leo closes out the 2025 Jubilee.
Temperature staying in the 40s tomorrow, but we will finally see some more sun. Greg Dutra has your AccuWeather forecast next. Pope Leo closed out the Catholic Church's Holy Year by sealing shut the special bronze Holy Door in St. Peter's Basilica. Holy Years or Jubilees are considered a time of peace, forgiveness, and pardon. Pilgrims to Rome can receive forgiveness of their sins if they pass through the Holy Door. The 2025 Jubilee was historic. It was opened by one Pope, Francis, and closed by his successor, Leo. 33 million Catholics visited the Vatican in that time. Well, we need your help with the Great Chicago Blood Drive.
One of our new locations needs more people to sign up, and it's in Mokina at the Oaks Recreation and Fitness Center. It's centrally located, so you can get there. To many of you, the entire donation process takes just about an hour. Just head over to ABC7Chicago.com to sign up for your appointment next week.
That's right. We want to be everywhere so people have no excuse.
And this is new in Mokina.
Yeah.
Come on, turn out. That'll be great.
That's right. All right.
Let's get a look outside now from the Cheryl Burton Navy Pier camera.
There you go.
As Greg Dutra has deemed it. And yeah, really calm night out there and so mild today, Greg.
It's been a mild stretch the past 3 days or so, but you're absolutely right. The last today and yesterday certainly have warmed up well above what you would expect for this time of year. And we keep on tacking on degrees, anywhere from 1 degree to a handful of degrees over the last 24 hours. We got 40 on the board right now. Winds are out of the west and they are fairly strong. 10, 15 miles per hour occasionally, and that is enough to make it feel closer to freezing, but you walk outside, even a wind chill at 34 degrees, it's going to feel good during the month of January. 41 in Bolingbrook, it's in the lower 40s just about everywhere. 43 in Chicago, kind of leading the way here, and there is rain up off to our north, and we've seen some scattered drizzle throughout the day today, even some more widespread shower activity before the sun came up this morning, but as the sun has set, all we're really seeing is moisture from these clouds and lower hanging cloud cover. Now, at times today, we had some clear skies where a little ribbon of dry air built in. That's not the case at this hour, but skies will clear back out early tomorrow morning. So putting Futurecast in motion, it'll likely happen right as the sun is rising, about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. We'll be on our way to clearing out for our southern counties by noontime. I think most of us will have cleared out. And then the afternoon and evening, again, we've got those clear skies and temperatures that are once again back in about the mid 40s. I'm thinking 44, 45 yet again for a high temperature tomorrow. But Wednesday is the pick of the litter because we don't have to deal really with any of that fog or drizzle. It's a nice day from start to finish. Thursday is warm, downright warm, 54 degrees, a high temperature. We gain almost 10 degrees, but that comes with the chance of rain showers. And Friday we start cooling off in anticipation of the system that gets here for the Bears game. Thankfully, at least at this point, not putting too much of an impact, I think, on the game. Aside from the winds, there's going to be a lot of wind, especially for kickers that are going towards the north end zone on our Saturday. So here's Futurecast. This is the next system that moves in again. Wednesday is a beautiful day for us. There's the rainfall, decent amount, I would say between about a half to 3/4 of an inch for many of us for total rainfall on Thursday before it gets on out of here. Friday looks like it's dry, but then there's another system right on its heels, and this is the one that brings us a mix to perhaps even some snow right around the game time. There are still question marks, though, on the track of this system. The latest runs have brought it a little bit farther off to the south. That's brought snow back into the equation for the Bears game at Soldier Field. So we've got to keep an eye on this forecast. At this point, I've still just got light snow showers in the forecast and winds that are strong, 20 to 30 miles per hour, and temperatures that drop pretty quickly through the game. And they continue dropping all the way into our Sunday with a high temperature of only 30 degrees Sunday afternoon, although we do recover nicely and we're back above normal by early next week, even trying to grab 40 degrees on Monday and Tuesday with partly cloudy skies to lead us through really a pretty good spell of January weather, because those could all be single digits and below zero this time of year.
Oh, and we already had the cold weather.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Maybe we're done.
Yeah, let's hope. All
Maybe, Greg. I would love that. That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Taking your love to new heights on this Valentine's Day, the way to win a special Chicago wedding next.
Plus, help wanted at the Obama Presidential Center as the opening draws closer. The Obama Presidential Center is hiring ahead of its expected opening in June.
The new Southside Museum is looking to hire 150 full-time employees. The former president says the priority is being put on local residents in the hiring process, and all employees will play a critical role in the visitor experience.
When people come here, we want them to feel what makes the Southside so special. The mix of warmth and grit, the sense of humor that can brighten any day.
There are a range of job opportunities available, from food to security to building maintenance, and people can apply online at obama.org.
Okay, never too soon to start summer planning. The Grant Park Music Festival returns to the Pritzker Pavilion on June 10th. The 10-week series features a variety of musical performances, including an evening with Ben Folds and an Independence Day salute. The free concerts will happen on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday nights through August 15th.
Well, tickets for Chicago Theater Week are now on sale. Tickets range from $30 to $15 or even less for some productions in Chicago and the suburbs. Chicago Theater Week events run from February 5th through the 15th.
A lot of people on ropes in that video.
People.
Would you do that?
There's a lot of I'm not physically fit enough to do that, but I would give it a whirl.
Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah.
I saw you in Cirque du Soleil the other week.
Yeah, you know me.
Man.
Not nearly. Okay, fine. Not flexible enough. Then.
Okay, well, you were the fire.
Yes, exactly. Juggling chainsaws. Yeah.
Okay, so you're pretty, I like that you're daring, because now you may have a chance to tie the knots, even though you're already married.
I was like, that is pretty daring, Karen.
That is daring. That is daring. You might get in trouble, Karen.
Yes.
Yeah, for the 10th year in a row, Skydeck Chicago is hosting their Love on the Ledge contest. 4 lucky couples will say their nuptials, or how about this, renew their vows.
Okay, there we go.
Renew their vows, overlooking the city from 103 stories high. All you have to do is submit a photo or short video explaining your love story and why you should win. The ceremony will happen next month, just before Valentine's Day, and you have until this Friday to enter.
Yeah, you know what? Have you been on the ledge?
I haven't yet on the actual, the box that sticks out.
Yeah, no.
Sorry. It wasn't there when I went the last time, and so I'm.
So you're out. Scared. Would you do it?
I would definitely do it.
Would your wife?
I think I would try. Have a great night.